where a kid telling a stupid joke, telling a very offensive stupid joke, is cause to ruin their lives. And we're not canceling kids because they do something stupid in a group chat.
In an earlier post, Vance says he refuses to, in his words, join the pearl clutching, saying what's far worse are the violent text messages that have upended Virginia politics. The Democratic candidate for Attorney General there in 2022 suggesting one of the state's top Republicans should get, quote, 2 bullets to the head. Jay Jones, days ago, apologizing.
I am deeply, deeply sorry. I should have never done it. It's very embarrassing to me, and certainly I regret it.
As for the Young Republicans chat, the national board says anyone involved should resign, and the governor of Vermont is now calling on a state senator there to do just that. That lawmaker has publicly apologized, but stopped short of stepping down. Tom?
Hallie.
I wanted to come back to it. I wanted to bring you a video about Jennifer Welch. She is a far leftist female that, again, believes that she is the moral authority in this country. People like her. You know, again, we have to recognize, man, these people have no power. They have no power. They can't build a damn thing. They destroy. They get mad. They get offended. They yell. They scream. They burn things down. These people, again, they destroy. They had nothing. They have no power. They just pretend they do. They have an illusion that they have power. And the only reason why they can say whatever they want to say is because they have been afforded that right by living in this great country. Well, anyways, Jennifer is mad. She's big mad. Why? Because J.D. Vance is saying that he's not going to demonize these young people, the young Republicans, for making jokes or whatever on Discord or Telegram or whatever they were, whatever platform they were on. He's not going to demonize them. And she's mad. She's big mad because, again, she said, you know, J.D. Vance is married to a brown woman. A brown woman. And he better, you know, again, have a different view. He ought to have a different reaction than what he had. Watch.
This is what J.D. Vance was saying about, you know, he thinks that the real story is who leaked this and ruining the lives of these young people.
Sorry.
I'm 41 years old. I have 3 kids. You know, I grew up in a different world, right? Where not most of the stupid things that I did when I was a teenager and a young adult, they're not on the internet. Like, I'm going to tell my kids, especially my boys, don't put things on the internet. Like, be careful with what you post. If you put something in a group chat, assume that some scumbag is going to leak it in an effort to try to cause you harm or cause your family harm.
Okay, J.D. Vance is married to a brown woman. He has mixed-race children, and that is his response to this. Horrible racism. It's beyond locker room talk. I'm a white woman that has lived in a red state my entire life, and I can tell you when I'm around white people, they test the racist water. They test it on people like you all the time, and they'll try to say off-color things. I put my hand up. It absolutely happens, and you're fortunate that maybe you haven't experienced this.
Can I just say, literally this August, a white person said the N-word in front of me.
The vice president of the United States. These
were not kids.
Horrible.
These were grown men.
Some of them are 40 years old.
If they
and some of them are
committed
women.
a crime, they would be prosecuted as adults. They were not children.
Well, look, I mean,
they're not stupid kids.
It's not kids.
They can
they're
vote.
not kids.
They're not kids, and a couple. Look, a couple of people.
Maybe the fact that J.D. Vance is married to a brown woman, maybe his reaction is better, is more correct, is right, and yours is wrong. Maybe. You know, again, and white people typically don't sit around and test the racist waters. They don't. You know, again, I know you believe they do, but they don't. You know, again, and also something we have got to understand. Right now, it's deemed very unpopular if you're white to be labeled as a racist. It's very unpopular. So white folks typically don't say things that'll get them labeled as being a racist. They don't. And again, just because a white person talks about something that offends you doesn't mean they're racist. You know, if I sit around and I talk about black crime, that does not make me a racist just because it offends you. And that black woman talking about, well, somebody used the N-word, some white person used the N-word in front of me back in August. So the hell what? You know, in what manner? First of all, we don't know if that's even real because white folks typically don't sit around and use that word. But if I'm assuming what you're saying is correct, in what manner, in what context did they use that word? And yes, it does matter. You know, again, were they referring to something? Were they referring to a conversation or a song or whatever? And yes, that does matter. And even if a white person used that word out of anger, that does not mean they're racist. Not one single bit. You know, we have got to understand something. That again, white people are people as well as black people. And again, they say things, they do things, whatever, at times that others don't like. But that doesn't mean they're racist. Do you understand that? And maybe the fact that you get upset because a white person used that word, dared to use that word, maybe that makes you a racist. Because again, you're saying that a white person can't say that word because of the color of their skin. They're excluded from being allowed to say that word. So maybe, in fact, you are the one that's a racist.
To this.
Yeah.
Do you have any family members that are MAGA?
No.
You'll get the biggest kick out of this, Monday, and I don't think Pumps knows this. So during this most recent election, my husband, I live in I would say a 99.9% white neighborhood. Okay. So my husband comes home from work and he goes, well, the weirdest thing just happened. The house 2 blocks south of us just put up 2 MAGA signs in their front yard and they're black.
No!
How's that?
No!
Or the only black family that lives in this godforsaken whiteness and they're fucking MAGA. He goes, it's just such a disappointment to me.
No!
Yes. And they had 2. They're a corner house. And they had, and I was just like, because I remember when they moved in, Roman, my son that told me, you know, the prom send-offs, the culture.
Yeah.
He was like, I love this. We need to have more color in this neighborhood. And I
Yeah.
go, I agree. That family popped up MAGA signs.
Black Republicans is something I will.
I'll show you right there. They don't care about black people. They don't care one single bit. They care about Democrats. They care if you're a Democrat. Again, you have to be blue and black, not red black. And again, bitch, if you want blue and black, you'll find plenty of that in the ghetto.
White people that triple trumped, that have the nerve and the audacity to walk into a Mexican restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, an Indian restaurant, go to perhaps their gay hairdresser. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. And if you want to triple Trump and you want to browbeat DEI and you want to browbeat gay people and you want to browbeat black people as you've been doing for 400 years. And you want to browbeat this generation of immigrants that come over here and open up businesses earnestly, pay their taxes. You want to demonize them and call them rapists and felons and all this shit when the felon is the teeny weeny mushroom cock piece of shit, Kankles McTaco tits at the top of the ticket. I have fucking had it from top to bottom. White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel because nobody wants to see your fucking smug ass, teeny weeny, pink arm, big gut around. Nobody.
She's in hell. She is in hell. She hadn't realized it, but she is in hell. You know, the fact of the matter is, man, people like her, They yell and they scream. They get mad because everyone has to affirm them. Everyone has to agree with them. And if they don't, she's going to call you names, going to protest, going to yell, going to riot, going to burn things down. That's what they do. That's what they do on the left. They burn shit down. They don't build. They can't build. They had no idea what that means. They destroy. They destroyed this country. They destroyed the very thing that gives them, that affords them the freedom to say what they want. Again, they think that it's bad, that everything in this country that comes from the conservative right is bad. But we have to remember something. White conservative Christian men are what founded and built this country. Now, I'm not saying that others didn't help, but they are the ones that built this country. And this woman, again, she makes fun of that. Why? Because she can. That's why. And again, she thinks that men can become women and women can become men. And, again, whatever lie is being told. She believes that affirmative action, DEI, is correct. And that is not correct. That is equity. Inequity is not equal. That's unequal. That's unequal. We have to understand that. That's not correct. And again, anyone that speaks up and says, hey, look, DEI is not right. Affirmative action is not right. Like Charlie Kirk did. Just over a month ago. He was killed. Why? Because that man spoke the absolute truth. He spoke the truth in a very respectful manner. But it offended them. And because it offended them, they screamed and they yelled and they protested and whatever. And again, they threatened his life and then they finally took it. Why? Because again, he spoke the truth and the truth is against evil. Do people not get that? A man can never be a woman and a woman can never be a man. So again, anyone who dares to say the truth is the enemy of evil. We have to recognize that. We have got to recognize what she is doing, what she is saying. And, again, nobody has to make your life more comfortable except for you. Nobody has to affirm you. Nobody has to make you feel comfortable about anything at all. White people, they can use the N-word in whatever manner they want to use it in. And if you don't like that, if you get mad and you attack them, then again, you're wrong. You're the one that's wrong, not them. The fact of the matter is, man, I'm not saying that we should, again, try to offend people on purpose. I'm not saying that. But again, we have to recognize in this country, nobody has to make you feel better about yourself. Nobody. And if you're the one that gets upset and rants and raves and attacks people because, again, they're speaking in a way that makes you uncomfortable, you're the one with the problem. You are the one with the issue, not them. And we got to understand that. And we also got to understand this woman has no power at all. And nobody on the left really has any power at all. They have power given to them by the great country, afforded to them by the great country that they live in. That was built and founded by great white men. That again, and every man that built this country. And I'm sorry, ladies, but men built the country. And again, that they built a great country. They afforded things to you that you would not have anywhere else. And that's the reason why you can say whatever you want to say. But you're trying to destroy that which gives you this illusion of power. And when it's finally destroyed, you will be the first to lose. If you guys would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.